Nije nam bilo teško odgledati gotovo 3 sata filma Australija, ni odletiti u London, jer sada ćemo moći unucima pričati da smo jednom davno bili u maloj hotelskoj sobi s Hughom. I nećemo lagati.
Is this the great Australian movie?
Well, that is for, I think, the audience and ultimately time to decide. But it's certainly, in terms of ambition, we certainly set out to use our own country as a canvas on which to paint this vast sweeping story. So by the very nature of that ambition, you know, we've set the bar kind of high.
40-godišnji Hugh uz Nicole Kidman glavna je zvijezda najambicioznijeg uratka iz australske filmske radionice. Australija Buzza Lermana, redatelja Moulin Rougea i modernog Romea i Julije, govori o aboriđinima, ispaši krava i velikoj romansi početkom Drugog svjetskog rata. Ako vas ova tematika i ne privlači, vjerujte nam, scena u kojoj se Hugh usporeno poljeva vodom, pritom u toplesu, ulazi u filmsku povijest.
You are aware that a lot of women are going to focus on the parts where you have no shirt on.
Well, you know, the good and bad thing about working with Baz is he makes you look good. However, from here on in, I'll never be able to go out in public or be seen again because it's all CGI and body doubles, and no one knows that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
see if I
so
keep
I
getting
have
interviews like
exclusive
this,
now.
I'll realize.
It wasn't you, actually.
No.
Ovo je prvi Hughov angažman na nekom australskom filmu nakon gotovo 10 godina. Bilo mu je, kaže, super jer je napokon mogao govoriti svojim naglaskom. Lokacije na kojima se Australija snimala doslovno su na kraju svijeta, daleko od civilizacije, pa su velike filmske face spavale u šatorima.
The sun would go down at 6 o'clock, whatever, 6:30, and then we couldn't work till the sun came up. And there was one room, not much bigger than this, which was kind of like an old 150-year-old sort of stopover house cottage for drovers back then. And they just turned it in. There was one pool table and a bar and 300 Australian crew. So put all those ingredients together and I could keep you entertained for about 8 hours with the stories, but none of which you could air on your show. So
Every day something extraordinary happened, you know, whether it, you know, rained for the first time in 100 years in the desert.
Making history.
Yeah, and I would just be like, oh, well, that's just a day at the office, you know. Nothing normal about that, you know. What next? I always say, let's have lunch, you know. These were kind of normal catastrophes. You don't make a sweeping romantic epic without expecting a few catastrophes.
You get used to it.
Yeah, you do.
Većinu snimanja šarmantni je glumac proveo na konju. Unatoč općem mišljenju kako Australci i kauboji s istih ne silaze, Hugh je trebalo mnogo vremena da nauči ovo.
I rode every day for about 7 months, which I loved, you know. I mean, I've said,
It seems easy. When you do it, it seems like this.
Well, it took, trust me, there's a hell of a lot it takes with me falling on my butt and going over and missing my marks and doing all. You see just in selected takes, trust me.
CGI again.
CGI, and again, it's not me. Actually, that is one thing. That was me on the horse.
Hugh Jackman već je 12 godina u sretnom braku s glumicom Debrom Lee Furness. Upoznali su se na snimanju jednog televizijskog filma i danas imaju 2 posvojene djece. Zanimljivo, jedna je od Debornih bliskih prijateljica Nicole Kidman, koja je i kumovala ovom braku.
Was it weird to do romantic scenes with her since you're good friends and...
No, but you see, in Australia, we just all swap partners anyway. You know? You do in Croatia too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Party,
it's
party,
kind
party.
of just normal. And while we're on set, my wife and Keith were making out in the trailer. So it's just...
I will not be able to air this.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Women in Croatia are gonna go...
Nakon uspješne trilogije X-Men, Hugh je kao Wolverine dobio i svoj spin-off. Istoimeni film o superjunaku čovjeku Vuku premijeru bi trebao imati u proljeće 2009.
How do you choose your projects? Now you have Australia, which is physical but also emotional role,
Yeah.
and then you have, I don't know, X-Men or Wolverine.
There's always perception of actors having choice, and sometimes in your career you have choice, and a lot of the time you don't.
You have to do.
But a lot of the time there's really... No, not that you have to, but there's just not a lot of choice.
Oh.
As in, you only got one job offer in the last 3 years. So it's always funny to me to say, why did you choose to do Police Academy 11? And I see the actors going, well, I love the comedy in it. I'm thinking, man, just tell them I had nothing else. That was it, I had to pay my bills.
Za Hughove račune ne brinemo, on radi punom parom. Ali nismo ljubomorni, dapače, neka nam se što više mota pred očima. Drage dame, ne možemo vam dogovoriti ovakav susret 1 na 1, ali 3 sata Hugha, odnosno Australije, možete dobiti i vi. Za koji dan dojahat će u naša kina, a imali boljeg poklona za Božić.